Noah here from American Trucks, and we're going to check out these full LED 2-projector headlights with a white daytime running light sequential turn signal, a black housing, and a clear lens fitting the 18 to 20 F-150 with factory halogen headlights. Now, these headlights are perfect for the F-150 owner that wants a fully plug-and-play upgrade with a bright daytime running light design that really is sure to make your truck stand out on the road as well as parked with the lights off. I have to say, I think these headlights really look incredible. There are these split color LED daytime running lights that are meant to make your truck more visible to others on the road, and then pair that with the projector style LED headlights that cast a beam that's focused rather than spread wide. And these things really should be seriously bright in low light driving conditions. Then we've got black housings that give them a darker and more modern look, and then around the front we have clear lenses so there isn't any light restriction like you'd get with a tinted lens. Overall, it's just a modern design that boasts an OEM fit with improved lighting brightness. I will note as well that these have some of the most attention to detail as far as LEDs go, at least that I've seen on headlights in quite a while. There's a lot going on between the cuts in the daytime running light here on the top and bottom, as well as these amber stripes between the projectors. There's also a sequential turn signal function as well, which I think is really just the icing on the cake. These headlights look awesome, but is the build quality up to par with the looks? In this case, yes. As far as construction goes, we've got automotive grade plastic housings and lenses. Now these guys will be resilient to road debris, moisture, heat, you name it. And then on the inside, there are these projector lenses designed to intensify the light beam and make the most of those LED bulbs. Then to top it off, you get a 1-year warranty, and these headlights meet and exceed ISO 9000 and 9002 quality standards. These headlights are going to cost you about $900, making them one of the lower priced options in terms of aftermarket headlights for the 18 to 20 F-150. Now at that price point, you are getting quite a lot of features which you normally see in $1,200 plus headlights. Installing this set of headlights on your F-150 will take you about 20 minutes or so to do on your own at home with minimal tools. We're looking at an install difficulty right at 1 out of 3 wrenches. Now speaking of install, let's head over to the shop and take a more in-depth look at installing these headlights.
The tools you'll need for this project are a trim removal tool, a 3/8 or 1/4 inch drive ratchet, a 7mm, an 8mm, a 10mm, a 13mm socket, and a T25 Torx driver. Hi everyone. Today we're installing a set of headlights on our F-150. So let's get started with the uninstall of the stock headlights first. First thing we'll need to do is remove the upper radiator cover using the trim removal tool and remove the 13 push pins that are holding it in place. Now we can lift it off. Now we'll remove this filler panel that goes across the front of the grille. And to do that, there's 2 bolts on each side, just inside the fender lip. So we're going to use our 7mm socket to remove those, and then we'll just pull the filler out of it. Now you remove the 2 on the other side, and then just pull this filler panel out. There are 4 bolts at the top holding the grill in. We'll use our 10mm socket to remove those, and then we'll disconnect the 2 electrical connectors in the middle of the grill. Now to release these electrical connectors, you just push in on the release tab and lift it up. Now we'll remove the 13 millimeter bolt on this side at the lower part of the grill and one on the other side, and then we can pull the grill out. And now you can repeat that process on the other side. Now we can just pull our grill out. And now we have access to the headlights. Now to remove the headlight, there are 2 bolts on top. We'll use our 10 millimeter socket to remove those. And there are 2 on the bottom, a 10 millimeter and an 8 millimeter. So let's go ahead and get those removed. Now we'll get the 2 on the bottom. All right, there's a 10 millimeter here and an 8 millimeter there. All right, now we'll just push down on this plastic piece right below the headlight. Now we can unplug the 3 connectors in the back simply by pushing on the release tab and pulling out. And you can repeat that process for the other side. Now that we've got the old light removed from the truck, we need to transfer this mounting bracket at the bottom of the light to our new light in order to install it. To do that, there are 3 screws at the bottom of this bracket, and you're going to need your T25 Torx screwdriver to be able to take those out. So we'll just unscrew these. And once you've got those 3 screws removed, you just lift that bracket off, and we'll reuse the hardware to put it under the new light. So you'll notice that there are a couple of tabs at the bottom of this light here that go into the slots on the mounting bracket, like so. And then we can just screw the new bracket onto the light. Now with the bracket attached, we can go ahead and plug in our adapter harness on the back of the light right here. Just push it until it snaps tight, and then we can go ahead and plug in our original harness to these 3 cables right here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Now, like I said before, we'll just go ahead and reconnect our original harness to the adapter plug on the new light. And go ahead and slip our light into position. Now we'll go ahead and secure this light with the original hardware. Go ahead and insert our 2 top bolts. And tighten them down with our 10 millimeter socket. Now we'll get the 2 at the bottom. Tighten it down with our 10 millimeter. Now we'll tighten down our 8 millimeter bolt. Now we can go ahead and repeat that whole process for the other side. Now with our lights installed, we can go ahead and put our grill back in place. And while I'm doing this, it's a good time to remind you that before you actually put the grill back in, it's a good idea to go ahead and check your lights, make sure everything is working all right. we've already done that, so we know it's good to go. So we'll just slide our grill back into place. And secure it with the original hardware. And we'll go ahead and tighten down those 4 bolts at the top using our 10mm socket. And we'll go ahead and put in our 13mm bolt on the passenger side, tighten it down with our 13mm socket. And now you can repeat that for the other side as well. Now we'll go ahead and put our filler panel in. Again, starting on one side. And just snapping it into place. All the way around. Now we can go ahead and secure it to the fender well using the original hardware and our 7mm socket. Put our 2 screws in here. And again, tighten it down with our 7mm socket. And repeat that process for the other side as well. Now before we install our grill cover, we're going to go ahead and reconnect our grill shutters simply by plugging the connectors back in to the controllers. Now we can go ahead and install our cover and secure it with the original push pins. And there you have it. And that wraps up our review and install of the full LED 2 projector headlights with white DRL and sequential turn signals with the black housing and clear lens for the 18 to 20 F-150 with factory halogen headlights. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.